Hi friends, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to design a necklace using the DGC treasure bag, the festive collection. It is not a monthly subscription, it's a bi-monthly treasure bag. That means if it is available, once it's sold out, it's sold out. That's it. And there is no monthly subscription. As and when it's available, you can buy it. And there was two colorways, which is the festive colorway and the elegance colorway. The elegance is sold out, the festive is still available if you want to grab yours. There is more than 31 products in this box, which is right here. So we have 31 products, and then see that, and there is more than 13 strands of beads. 13 strands of beads and more of the findings and beads in bags and stuff like that. Pendants, like 4 or 5 pendants, and then charms. So many things in this bag, and mostly there is 15, like from 11-inch to all the way 24 inches we have in the strands as well. So I already made a pearl necklace, a choker, with the pearl beads that we got, which came out very pretty. As you guys can see, that's the pearl necklace. It's right angle weave, and then we have a back chain to it. Now I'm gonna do my knotted necklace, which is, you guys all know I love knotting, and I'm using Chinese knotting cord, 0.8 millimeter Chinese knotting cord. That's the standard size you can start with, but there is 0.5 millimeter and 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter as well. But for our beads, generally it's 0.8 millimeter is a nice gauge because it allows all the beads to go through. And the crystal beads you don't have to worry about. Gemstone beads, the bigger ones, no problems whatsoever. But the smaller ones you need to be a little bit mindful, like about the 3 and 4 millimeter. Maybe you have to switch down to a 0.5 millimeter Chinese knotting cord, then it will accommodate it. But the crystal beads is absolutely a no brainer. It will go through. And what I did was I just took some beads. We have so many strands in this box, so I just grabbed some beads and then made a small samples and figured out which one I like it. So we have these strands that you can see, these ones, this rectangle beads, very very pretty, gorgeous red color. And then this lantern beads with the AB finish to it. You can see the glitter even in the video. In person it looks more beautiful, and in the green color. And then this electroplated beads as well, with the antique gold thing. So I combined two. And then also this miracle beads, kind of, this is glow in the dark beads, the red strand. And then this heart crystals as well. So I made a small pattern, and I figured out I like this better than this. It looks much more brighter and more Christmassy. I mean, we are doing something with a festive bag, right? So it should be more Christmassy. So I figured that this pattern is good. But you can try a sample and see if you like it. Let just 2 inches, 1.5 to 2 inches. If you try a pattern, then you will like it. You will know if you like it or not. Normally I do it that way. So I tried and I figured this is the pattern that I'm gonna go with. I just minor adjustment of adding an 8-0 seed bead, antique gold 8-0 seed bead in between. So I have added that. I will take this out because we don't need that anymore, and I'm not going to follow that pattern, so I remove that. And then this is the one I'm using, except I'm having the golden antique gold 8-0 seed bead in between this part, and I'm continuing with that. So this is how the pattern looks like. So this is how the pattern looks like. So I use this heart shaped crystal beads that we received in the box as well. So this is the one. Let me just, so this is the one that we have. I think we will have enough of these beads to work with. So the one bead is stuck, so I'm just gonna snip that off. Such a pretty glitter this has. It's very, very cute. And as you guys can see, that's what I really like about this. So if you see this, it looks like a chocolate kind of. That's what I feel, right? The shape, just this three, looks like a chocolate. So I want to make earrings like this, and I also want to make earrings like this. It looks like a gift, right? It exactly looks like a gift. So just these two. Don't you see that? So just this two looks like a gift. Because the way, I think the way it sits, let me show you guys up close. It looks like a gift, right? So I really like it. So I'm gonna use this beads and follow this pattern, except I added some seed beads in between. That's all I'm adding to it. And I'm also going to use this nice 14 karat gold plated ring finding, twisted ring finding. So this is going to be the center of the necklace. So I'm going to string one side of the strand, and I'm going to actually string the other side later. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I keep this as a sample so I don't forget the pattern. So this one, right, I'm using this maroon color cord because I want to use that, but you can also use the green. It's also very, very pretty. I thinking about it, I should have used green, but let me just try this if it looks nicer. But I want that it's not a bright red, so let me just make a knot and see if it looks good. Actually it does. The red also looks good. You won't go wrong with red or green, whichever color you have available in your stash, you can use that. And also if you use not a necklace and you don't use any other metallic elements in the necklace, then you can give it to anybody who has allergies to metals and stuff. Because what happens is, because they have we don't use any of the metal elements, there is nothing that is going to give them allergy reaction. And also the findings that we use at the end for the clasp, also we don't have to use with the cord, we can just knot it, so it should be pretty much safe for them. But we are going to use this in the center as a focal, so that's that. So I'm going to string this and come back and show you guys. I'm not going to knot every other bead. I'll show you guys here and there we will knot. So when I do that, I'll show you guys how it is. But first I will string it up, and it's going to be a long necklace. It's going to be a sweater necklace, so at least 24 inches. So it will be like at least 12 inch on one side and 12 inch on the other. So I will string some and come back and show you guys how we can knot. So I finished stringing it. It's about, say, 10.5 inches or so. And if we add a couple of knots, then it will be more than enough to actually for one side. So before adding the beads, I did add the beads now, but I would suggest before adding the beads, you can actually measure this and cut it. So about, say, this is 1 feet. 2. First of all, I will just tie a knot around 1 feet. Okay. So 2 feet. 3. Just measuring, sorry. That's 3 feet. So this is about, say, the 3 feet. So forget about the beads for now. This is the 3 feet. So I'm gonna take 6 feet. I will let you guys know how much I use. But I think 2.5 feet is good enough, is what I feel. So I might reduce a little bit. Yes, 2.5 feet on each side should be a good enough measure. So totally cut 5 feet of Chinese knotting cord, fold it into half, go into the ring, and then you will have to take these 2 cords inside. Okay, that's what you're gonna do. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna take this. See how I made the lock side knot? So that's easy. Now I didn't cut it yet. That's okay. So one side we have the beads, the other side I have it empty. So the side that I have the beads, I'm gonna knot it. But also I have to make a couple of knots here to start with. So it will be nice for us to, have some gap here. So what I'm gonna do is take the cord knotting. I'm doing a hand knotting technique. Wrap it around your fingers, and since we have so many beads here, we have to take all the beads through it. Okay, then what I do is, you can use tweezers, or tweezer, no pliers, anything will work. So take it and go into the knot and hold where you want the knot to be, and just kind of pull it. So I'm not worried about it being very very tight or so, because the other side you can always tighten it up. You can see there is a knot right there, and if you want, you can have a seed bead right there. That would be ideal. But now that I have included all the all the beads, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do one more knot. That's not traditional, but I really like to do one more knot in that. So the same, go through the loop with your tweezers and then just pull that, and there's your second knot. I want a little bit of gap. It's okay for me to have a little bit of gap right there. Okay, but it's up to you. So I want the same on this side as well. So let me just measure this and cut it. It might be easier for me to do that. Rather than working with the spool, I cut the cord off. So that's that. Okay, I'm gonna do the same the other side as well. The other side we don't have any beads. Let me just show you guys. Wrap it around your fingers, take it. This is a hand knotting technique that I do it in my channel all the time. You guys must be aware of it now. Well aware of it right now. One more overhand knot. Just take this, do a knot, put your index finger through the knot, tighten that up. Okay, just tighten that up. Okay, that's the 2 knots. Okay, that's how the knot looks like. Okay, now we'll start with the beads. So After a bead, I'm gonna knot. So here I have a knot which I put after 1 feet. I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna put the knot at the end of the cord so that the beads don't fall off. Or also you can do a slip knot, but I would rather slip knot is like taking this and taking the edge, the end cord, and just holding it like this. So that's a slip knot. It will come off like this, but I just don't want to take a risk because I'm gonna go through the loop with all the beads again and again, so I want it to be secure. So just a regular knot, we can take it off. Chinese knotting cord is very forgiving that way. So move all the beads down. Okay, I'm gonna start knotting. Take the entire thing in and then hold it like that. Just your index finger, pull. See this, how I pull, tuck and pull, and then okay, then let me see what I did. Okay, so actually there should be a bead here. That's okay, we can continue and end with that. Okay, so that's that. Then where I'm gonna place a knot, you will have to see. So if you like this, you can leave it at that point and do a knot here. So I'm randomly knotting. I'm not knotting after every other bead. If you want, you can do so, but it's totally up to you. If you want to knot every other bead, you should be having a lot of cord to work with. I have only 2.5 feet. In that, I need half a feet for, the end, so that I can have a sliding knot. So that's one knot. Okay. And then push all these beads down, and I'll make one more knot. So here we go. One more knot. Then I push everything down. So I'm going to knot after this section, right? And after this section. So this 5 beads and after. So I don't want to knot it very tight. So I always end up doing that, and it kind of messes up how the necklace sits. It will eventually weigh down, but I still don't want to wait until that. And it see this, if it is very tight, it has that. So which I really don't like right now. Nowadays, I like to take it easy and not very lightly, not tightly. So that rhymed. There we go. Make sure if you are next to the seed bead, make sure that you don't catch the seed bead in between your knot. This is an 8 or seed bead, so it doesn't really bother, and we can do it. But if it's 11 or seed bead, just make sure it doesn't get caught within. So keep knotting, and then I'll come back and show you guys what I have at the end, or you guys can stay. I don't know what I want to do, because there's not a lot of knots that I need to put. So I'm almost done here, I guess. But if you think that you have enough cord to work with, and if you want more knots to put, you can add one more set of this beads and then do it. So I really like to knot, and I really knot fast, um, but you can take your time. It's intimidating at the start, but trust me, it is easy. So wrap it around your finger, take the edge of the cord, tail of the cord, pull it around. This is a regular overhand knot. So just like that, put your index finger into that loop, and then just the index finger, and then just pull with the other one, tighten that up, pinch between your fingers and pull. There you have your knot. We actually knotted this, and it's about say 12 inches or so, so it's nice and good enough. But I still have a lot of cord left, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add one more section of the beads and knot and come back, and then probably to the other side as well, add the beads, knot that side, and then we can do the sliding knot and the pendant part. Hi, welcome back. So I finished both the sides, as you guys can see. Such a pretty piece, I would say. Very festive and nice, and I really like the way this turned out to be. So here it is. It's about say 33 centimeters, okay, or let me say in inches, about say 13 and a half, like that means 27 inches long. So I have still a lot left, so you can take 2 feet of cord on both sides. That's good enough for to finish this necklace. So now I'm gonna you can either crisscross or you can do it this way, both is fine. And I'm gonna measure, say, let me see, measure about say 5 inches. I think that's good enough. I don't need, I mean, maybe 5.5. Okay, and then you can cut off the excess cord. Okay, so I have this, and what I'm going to do here is I'm gonna melt this end, and I'm gonna add some seed bead and this red color bead, and again a seed bead. It is just for decoration, and also you need something to pull off your ends with, right? So you need something at the end. So since we have a lot of beads, that's not a problem. So I just go ahead and tie an overhand knot at the end, just like that, and then drop this down here. If you want, you can add one more knot just before all of the beads. That way you don't want your seed beads to move around a lot. So that's one side. Let me finish the other side as well. So add a seed bead, a red color bead. I chose a red color bead. It's nice and big and it will be substantial for ours. And I have a whole lot left to do one more necklace or more, so that's not an issue. Tie an overhand knot just like that. Other one. Once you tie that knot, bring all the beads down just like that, and then tie again an overhand knot. You can also push the knot closer to the bead, and that's it. So I have this. I will choose the one which is the longest, and I will do the adjustable sliding knot. So I'm gonna use my knotty do it all, but you don't have to use it. You can just tape this to your work surface and do it. It's a lot. There is a lot of ways to do it as well. Macrame board, anything will work for this, but I'm gonna take my knotty do it all. I'm gonna take both the cords and I'm gonna do it straight. You can also crisscross and then do the thing, but this is long enough. You don't need that, is what I feel. Sometimes you would need that kind of a length to increase the length of your necklace, but I don't need it. And this cord is about, say, 7 inches. 7 to 8 inches is more than enough. I'm not planning to do a lot of macrame square knots is what I'm doing. So these two cords are the base cords. The 7-inch cord is the knotting cord. Take this about the middle, I keep it, and then hold it like this. Take the leftmost cord, keep it in a Q format. Take the right cord, go on top of the left, underneath and through that loop that we created. And this is called square knot. It comprises of two parts. One is this, the other one is you do the right. So you turn and do the right, and the left goes on top, underneath and through this loop that we created. That's one square knot. So you can do as many as you want or as less as you want. Like 3 knots is more than enough for a sliding closure of a bracelet or a necklace. But if the necklace is a little bit heavy, I would prefer more knots than usual, the 3 knots. So I always do more than 3. I never stop at 3. So I'm just gonna do as long as I ran out of this cord. That's how much knots I'm gonna do, but you can choose to do less or more, depends totally upon you. So there we go. That's macrame square knots. If you are not aware of this knot is a very versatile one. Good thing to have under your belt. It will be very useful in a lot of circumstances. So go ahead and learn this. There is a tutorial, basic macrame tutorial. It will be linked in most of my videos. It will be in the description box, definitely under this one as well, this video as well. So you can go ahead and watch those knots, and it is not difficult, trust me. It's an amazing one. This is the first knot that probably you will learn in macrame, and that's the easiest and then most used knot as well, for it's versatile. It's for design, for closure, and so much more. So I cut it, leaving a little bit, and then I melt, and then I press it against on the side, because we still want the cords to go or slide side to side. So we don't want this to be stuck with the cord. So see that? So that's how you can make it big. You put it on over your neck and then slide it tight. So that's the sliding knot. So we have finished the necklace as such. You can finish at this point and call it a day. That's totally up to you. We have a pendant, very nice focal, but I want to do some dangles here. So this small cord that I cut, I will show you guys a sample of what I want to do. Take this cord, locks it knot again. So I'm just gonna come through this, right, and then take these 2 cords through. That's a lock set knot. So I'm gonna do some lock set knot like this, and I'm gonna hang some beads in that so that we can make a tassel kind of. Doesn't have to be a lot, but we can do more. And that one was about, say, ear length. So I'm gonna cut. Let me measure this. It's the 20 centimeters. Okay, so that's 3, and then I think 4 is good enough. Let's see, if we want we can cut more later, but let's fill this up first. Okay, so first of all, it's not the same height. We will adjust that first. Okay, just loosen that up. Okay, and then hold these 2 cords together and then tighten that up. Okay, now I still have my 8 seed beads that you can add. Okay, couple of them, and then green beads, the crystals. These 8 seed beads are not branded ones, so they are like different sizes and heights and so forth and so on. So it's difficult to fish out the good ones. So it takes time. It's not very difficult. It takes time. So I'm just going to put a little bit more of the seed beads so I have a little bit of selection to choose from. So it also depends upon how heavy you want the tassel to be. So I'm just gonna make an overhand knot here. Okay, and then these crystals, they will shine really nicely. For some reason it's hard to find out the hole in that. Okay, and then again, if you want, you can add this bead right here. You can have this at the end. It's totally up to you. I can have this, one more seed bead. So all of these I can have, and then I can tie a knot, an overhand knot. If it is less cord, you can always use your pliers to have a knot at the end. So that's how this looks. Okay, now let's do this crystal first. So I have to melt this end as well, so that I can get these crystals inside. I'm gonna do some tassels like this, and I'm gonna come back and show you guys what I got at the end. I was doing this all by myself. Then I thought, okay, it takes a little bit of a time, And the pattern is totally up to you what you can follow, but I thought, why not, you know, I am almost done. There's only one more tassel to make, so I thought I will do it in camera rather than, doing it by myself. So a couple of things I figured we experience right while doing the thing is you have to take a little bit more card, then it's at least 2 inches more, so that you have a nice, you know um, it's easy to work with. So just a little bit more card. I just feel just 2 more inches, or at least 1 more inch would be a good idea, because it was too small at the end for me to actually do it. So what my thought process was, right, the first tassel I did. So when you have then the second thing I noticed is when you have gap, see, I have a knot here and then I have space on the top. If you have that constantly, the laxed knot will get loose on you. So if you want to do the first section, tight with all the beads and the knot, and the second section you can leave it plain, that works. And then in the middle, the two tassels, I didn't leave that much space. As you guys can see, in the top I didn't leave that much space, and then even in the bottom also I didn't leave that. It's pretty much full. But the look that you want is totally, customizable. You don't have to do what I did, but I'm just giving you guys some tips as to what to expect. So now I have to replicate the one on the side, because I mean, it's not necessary, but I wish to replicate is what I wanted to say, because I mean, there is no rhyme or reason as to this is the way you have to do, kind of. It's your jewelry, your handmade creations. You can go ahead and do however you prefer. So the first one was was a heart crystal. So here we go. Two beads, and a heart crystal. If you have a little bit more of the cord, then it's easy for you to knot at the end. So I'm just gonna tie an overhand knot. Okay, I prefer the tweezers. So here we go. Just pull that down and see where you want that knot to be. Okay, just like that. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact, but it can be approximately the size. Okay, there we go. Then a barrel bead, a seed bead. Trust me, 8/0 seed bead is much more easier to work with than 11/0 seed bead. If you're downsizing the cord, then you can use 0.4 millimeter or 0.5 millimeter, then you can use 11/0 seed beads. Otherwise, I wouldn't advise using 11/0 seed beads. It's not easy to get in, and it's very frustrating. This is the one which will get through. I mean, if you have a Delica 11/0, you can try, but as I said, it's a lot more frustrating than okay. So now I just want it to be the same height. So let's see from this side if it is the same size. It's pretty much it. So I'm not gonna worry about that. I'm gonna leave it at that point, then melt the end. So if you're not comfortable using a lighter, I would say use a thread zap. To zap at the end, or some people use glue. I have never used glue because this was melting is easy for me than doing glue, so I'm sticking with this. But I have seen people use glue for that. So that's that. And then a green lantern bead. It's exactly like lanterns. I really like it a lot. And then 2 more. It is a little bit time consuming, this tassel, but it is worth it, is what I feel. You might feel otherwise, but you can always, try this out. Just keep the tweezers inside the loop, inside the knot. Okay, this way. Then go ahead and grab where you want it to be. As I said, I don't want a lot of gap right there, so that much is good enough for me. And now all I need to add is a crystal. A barrel bead. Seed bead. And then the green lantern bead. I have enough beads to work with for an entire necklace again, so I'm so happy about that, because I really like the color combination of these beads, and I also want to experiment it with single colors, like just don't go for all the green and everything. That's about say right. Yeah, as I said, it doesn't have to be exact, but I really like the way this turned out to be, right? So now what we need to do is we need to do some housekeeping, which is like cutting the cord, melting it, cinching it. Oops. Just leave a tad bit so that there is something for you to melt. See this? That's very less. I want to do it immediately. This might come undone, is what I feel. But I have melted it nicely, so it won't. It's hard to work with a lighter at the start for myself, because I used to get my fingers burnt all the time. But then there is a couple of ways around it to do it so that you don't get hurt. But just be careful. The spur of the moment, I'll just use my fingers. You just melt it and you can press it with your lighter itself if you want. Okay. And if you want to do it with your hands, just wave it a little bit and then wait for a tad bit. Don't go do it immediately. And I would suggest do it in a well ventilated environment. Oops, I missed one, I guess. There we go. So that the fumes don't bother you. As I said, this is the last one, is the one which is going to come undone constantly for you guys, but that's the look I went with for the first time, so I'm just sticking with mine. I really like the way this turned out to be, this tassel. Very, very pretty, I feel. And at the end also, I have some housekeeping to do. There we go. When you take care of these small stuff, that will give your piece a finished and professional look. Always make sure you finish it off completely, because we will think that we will get to it, but it will never happen. So I always like to, you know, especially at least with, cleaning up and stuff, I just procrastinate. But with at least finishing the project, I would like to do it then and there. So this is my finished product or project. How cool is that? I really like the way this turned out to be. A very, very satisfying project for the Christmas, I would say. I hope you guys like this tutorial too. If you do, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, don't forget to hit the bell icon for notification. I do upload videos couple of times a week, and it really helps me if you hit the like button and subscribe. It's free and it really helps me to bring more content to you guys, and it really helps. So if you enjoy this, kindly do subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon for notifications, so you will get to know when my next video will be available or is uploaded. And then also, if you'd like to buy me coffee, I'm not giving a PayPal account like normally people do that, but I'm not a big fan. I mean, I'm a big fan of coffee, but I don't drink coffee anymore because of my health condition. And also I take homeopathy medication, so you're not supposed to drink coffee during that. So but I really appreciate teas. Matcha tea is my favorite, green tea is my favorite, and I also have like other drinks like kombucha and stuff like that, so I really like those. And if you'd like to buy me some, there is a heart symbol right in the bottom of the description box. You can hit that and then subscribe. You can donate as much as you can for my tea or for my kombucha. Thank you so much. That's a weird ask, right? I hope so too. I don't know, today I just felt like sharing with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye bye.